saying that thing, but living life as a sportsman. Every day
Yeah. Yeah.
you are not sure कि आप century मारोगे कि duck out.
Right. Every day is a new inning altogether. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Absolutely. Welcome to a special edition of Open Floor with Nihshank. And today we have with us a special guest, Mr. Abhishek Tiwary. He is an IAS officer and he's been designated as Special Secretary of Health, Department of West Bengal. It's an honor to have you on board, sir. And me, like I obviously know that you were always also an IITian. So why go for UPSC in the first instance?
Thank you for inviting me, first of all. Basic thing I think I would just like to clarify here is that like any other profession, this is also profession. Uh, After doing IIT and then working for 1.5 years in my own sector, uh, we start thinking about what else we can do, and then we start thinking about different kind of options. So obviously UPSC is one among them. So it's just like uh, I won't like to say that there has been too much of thought regarding that thing, but obviously some kind of uh, things you read on net, newspapers, and all those things. You read about different kind of circumstances that they have to work in, different kind of challenges they are posted with. So that's obviously an incentive. So, but in the end, I would like to say one thing: just like any other thing, it's a profession.
Yes. Oh, okay. So that you put it down very humbly, actually, just like any other profession. But it is one of the most sought for professions in India, and it's not that UPSC is very easy. It arguably is the toughest exam in India and one of the toughest exams in world. Like you said, Abhi, I always wanted to try something new. I was always exploring, and you read about it in media and news and whatever articles and all of that. Like when you were planning or when you started training for this like 6 months before or whenever you did that, you will tell us better, what was the one thing that was going into your mind? Like were you like, yeah, I'll leave my previous job and then like I wholeheartedly am just going to go for it, or you were still in a sort of a mix ki, I just want to give it a try and maybe explore and let's see what happens next?
Happened very organically, first of all. So it happened very organically. I think initially there was no plan to leave the job and to go wholeheartedly for this thing. Uh, it was just like let's see how it develops and all those things. After a while, when I realized that if I want to be sincere about or serious about this thing, so I shall be giving more time to these things. And at that was the point. I think a decision happened that I need to leave the job, but it happened very organically. That I have already
Right.
said that thing.
Right.
Uh, so it's kind of thing. It's your own process. It's your own process. I think you make a. I think there are other people I know about who have, I think, cracked with job also.
Yeah.
Uh, so that's also a case. So I had my own process. I think it happened in
Right.
some way for me also.
Okay.
So that's the thing. But I can't literally put a finger there ki, haan, whether how shall one go about this thing, whether one shall be
Yeah.
totally it's upon simple individual decisions all, I believe in that.
Yeah, बिल्कुल नहीं sir, बिल्कुल absolutely. It's yeah, everyone has it, their own journey and so is yours own also. But sir, एक बात है, like there are different skill sets that an IAS officer, because आप लोग constantly, like you said, you're dealing with the health department, you have also looked into the welfare and all of that for West Bengal. I'm sure you must have been into other posts as well. What do you feel is that one skill set जो मतलब कि कोई भी aspirant के अंदर inculcate होनी चाहिए when he is going for that, like let's say a problem solving skill या ऐसा कुछ, like something that you need to have within you inculcated as a part of dealing with administration?
Whatever we do with our original degrees, I think all those things are kind of, I think, impart you some kind of skills. Uh, uh, as a lawyer, you look at different aspects of things. Like as an engineer, you have kind of developed a problem solving skills. Uh, there are other degrees which kind of inspire some kind of values in you. Again, so I believe what I believe that there must be some kind of skill sets which are necessary for, I think, being an uh, administrative officer, I would like to say, is like that one shall be having this problem solving aptitude, first thing. And there must be some value system, obviously. There must be some value system with that thing. Uh, as you can understand, any problem can be solved in number of ways, but then the process in which you solve that problem, whether it's sustainable or not, that's the main important thing. Important thing in that respect. तो मुद्दा बात वही है. I think along
Yeah.
with problem solving skills and the way of looking at things in different ways, and with some value system, obviously, ठीक है. ये एक requirement obviously है. The
Yeah.
skill set.
Right. And sir, obviously, it's also a very busy job. And I mean, I was looking at Mr. Anil Swaroop. He's been 38 years into service as an IAS officer. He's the former CEO of State Department of, I think, Council of Jharkhand government, I guess. And he was saying कि problem solving में IAS officers, the idea that they come up with has to be politically acceptable. And this is a quote that he's made. I'm just reading out from that. The idea has to be politically acceptable, socially desirable, technologically feasible, financially viable, administratively doable, and judicially tenable. So do you feel the same? Do you feel the same onus, especially when you're always, I think, you're dealing with the government, you're dealing with the political leaders and stuff like.
Put a disclaimer here. Uh, First thing first, I think you're talking about a person who has worked 38 years in
Yeah.
so obviously I think his things will be much more different than. I'm still evolving in this service.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, but what I would like to say, what was whatever you are quoting, I believe that's kind of defining the whole set of institutions that we are living with.
Right. Absolutely.
So, and then given the system that we have adopted, those things shall be complied with.
Yeah. Okay. 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 Right. That's I'm not going to read too much into that, but I understand what you're saying, sir. But transfers and everything, it's a part of the reality of the job, like transfers and all of that. So how do you keep things moving when you're dealing with the government, or like कैसे आप चीजों को constantly on the move रखते हो, especially when you're trying to solve different issues?
See, so simple se point है कि every assignment has its own challenges. Right? So let's say when you are working in a field setup, maybe जो वहाँ पे आप decisions ले रहे हैं mostly regarding implementation ले रहे हैं, ठीक है?
Right.
So you have a process defined and then आपको solve को implement कर रहे हैं, right? When you are working in departments, you are trying to define a process.
Okay.
You're trying
Yes.
to define how it will happen, right?
Yeah.
So now ये जो assignments हैं, जो different assignments हैं, they kind of require some kind of typical challenges from you. They throw some typical challenges to you. So you need to adapt to them and then try to see कि how can you deliver in that respect.
सर ऐसा कोई इंसिडेंट जो आप शेयर करना चाहेंगे इस रिस्पेक्ट में? लेट्स से कि आप कोविड के समय हेल्थ डिपार्टमेंट, आई थिंक इट्स वन ऑफ द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट डिपार्टमेंट्स इन द कंट्री, स्पेशली विद द एंटायर पैंडेमिक कमिंग इन. लाइक कैन यू प्रोवाइड अ सॉर्ट ऑफ एन एग्जांपल कि लाइक दीस वर द चैलेंजेस दैट केम इन एंड दिस इज हाउ वी रिएक्टेड एंड ऑल ऑफ दैट?
There had been 3 different waves of COVID, and then I have 3 different assignments in 3 different waves of COVID.
Okay.
So
okay.
For the first assignment, I would like to say it was most about managing the what will I say, a kind of anxiety among people. That was the first was all about that thing. I think it was people were too much of anxious and all those things.
Yeah.
So that's a challenge. That was a challenge during the first wave of thing. Second wave was all about I think it's so mostly about medical management. I was not at that point of time in health department, so I'm not very privy to the things. And third wave was about absolute numbers. I think it happened in huge numbers. Yeah. And then third wave was kind of more or less, I think, comparatively more manageable compared to first 2 waves. but then there were three different things happening in those three waves, right? And luckily or unluckily, I think I was in different assignments, and during these three waves. Uh, so I'm just trying to quantify that what we did actually. The first was all about managing anxiety. People were literally anxious whether one shall
हाँ.
go out or not go out, how to manage things about you say daily routines and all those things. uh, you must have also experienced the same thing about the first
Yeah,
wave.
yeah,
Second
absolutely.
wave all about things happening, hospital load and all those things. And third wave was all about, I think, numbers. Yeah.
Right, right. I agree. Pehle wave mein, it was the first time that India had felt something like this, like in a long time, especially like for us and the younger generation. We were also like, ye pehla aisa something that we are experiencing. So absolutely, panic and anxiety. That is, I think, one of the important aspects you were mentioning. Sir, aise time par bhi, is there some sort of a Janta Darshan and all of that that you had to do, like redressal of,
Feasible, I think.
huh?
Feasible, I think. Differently नहीं होता.
Right, right, right. No, but like in general also by VCs and all of that, is it like, क्योंकि आप तो काफी समय से कर रहे हैं ये सारी चीजें, एक जनता दर्शन, is it an important part of the, या
I
फिर
mean, most
it
like
is
आपके ये जॉब आपको है एक अपॉर्चुनिटी देती है to interact with public,
okay?
right? So that can be a ground level worker also, and that can be normal citizen also. And when you talk to them, whatever process you may have designed, whatever process you may be implementing, it provides you with some kind of feedback mechanism. Okay, so it provides you with some kind of, let's say कि हाँ मतलब maybe you have never thought of this aspect of this process, right?
Yeah, okay, yeah, right.
So, saying a simple thing, let's say no, I would like to say that let's say कि हाँ मतलब हम लोग जो देखते हैं, ठीक है, मान लीजिए कि हमें ग्राउंड लेवल वर्कर्स जो है हमारे, आई
हाँ,
थिंक हेल्थ की ही बात करें
हाँ.
तो आशा है इनके फॉर्म में जो वर्कर्स हैं, ठीक है, they played a huge role during the COVID also, and then they are still playing the very बहुत बड़ा रोल प्ले कर रहे हैं वो लोग,
Right.
ठीक है. तो when you talk to these people, ठीक है, इनके पास जो पर्सपेक्टिव होता है बड़ा यूनिक होता है, ठीक है. वो आपको बहुत इजीली मतलब दे से दोस थिंग्स विद अथॉरिटी.
Yeah, okay.
Authority and confidence.
हाँ,
Sometimes even when we have designed some process, we are not sure how that thing will work out. But then when you talk to them, then you kind of calibrate your things, right?
okay.
So it's mostly about that part. ठीक है, I am very much fond of. ठीक है. Uh,
हाँ बिल्कुल, yes sir, absolutely. And makes a lot of sense also ultimately. I mean, yeah, absolutely, especially when you're working on the ground, sir. But do you feel like how is your entire day, like this entire point of this conversation was कि यार क्या होता है, people want to know, people who are not like, how is it different from an average citizen when you have that uniform, and what is basically your routine? That is like, I am very interested in that. And what's the
look,
practical aspect?
I think it depends upon the assignment again, because just
Okay.
now as I told you, I'm in department, so it's all about designing processes and all
Yeah.
those things. Obviously as part of designing process you need to interact with different kind of people, ठीक है.
Yeah.
तो वो जो आप लोगों से मिलते हैं, and at least I just told that thing before also, I'm very fond of
Right. Meeting people and yeah.
and then it always helped me in calibrating different things, which I may have thought कि हाँ ये तो बिल्कुल perfect है, nothing can be more perfect than this, ठीक है. But then ठीक है, that's the more or less a part of our job. So अगर आप you just want to know the routine, it's like a normal office routine, ठीक है, I think, which is true for
Okay.
any other professional, right?
Okay.
Obviously there are beyond that there are phone calls, that's like any other, right?
Yes. Yes.
So but then हाँ जो इसमें यूनिक चीज है जिसके बारे में I'm stressing again and again, इस kind of the interactions और जो आपको exposure and then चीजें जो आपको दिखाई पड़ रही हैं by interacting with variety of stakeholders.
Okay.
Let's just talk about, let's say, health, then you're talking from, let's say, starting from some doctors
Yeah.
to, let's say, some pharmacists to some
Right.
nurse to ASA workers. So आपको एक अराउंड एक स्पेक्ट्रम मिलता है यहाँ पे, ठीक है, कि हाँ आप जिनसे इंटरेक्ट कर रहे हो, ठीक है. एंड देन ऑब्वियसली ये चार लोग, ये चार या पांच जो आपको स्टेक होल्डर्स के नाम ले रहा हूँ, दे कैन बी मोर देन दैट थिंग
Absolutely.
आल्सो,
हाँ.
दे हैव देयर डिफरेंट पर्सपेक्टिव.
Right. Absolutely, her profession says it comes in unique perspective, and then you try to work around with all of that. So
Our job is that, and that to have a view of all these perspectives and try to make us something which is like okay or acceptable to all.
yeah, an amalgamation, and that actually works, sir. Okay, so like before the covid wala thing happened, field visits, do field visits play an important part? I mean, in the interaction, is the field visit aimed at the
Exciting part of the whole. I
okay
think this professor. That's one
okay
exciting part.
okay, and so that's because the interaction, right? That's because of the interaction you feel, is it the, or is it
There can be there can be at let's say sitting in an office, you may be knowing one way of doing things,
yeah.
right? ठीक है. Once you go out and meet people, you get to know कि भाई ये problem जो है इसको और चार तरीके से solve कर सकते हैं.
हाँ. Different perspectives, basically, that is. And so, but like
Local innovation
yeah.
kind of, I will like.
Okay, right. And sir, but I've heard like this is this saying that the IAS officers have a 24/7 schedule. It's like you are free also and you're not free also. And I've seen that in trying to contact you. I've witnessed that. Like, how do you feel? How do you manage that aspect, especially with family and work? Like, how do you crack the balance between the two?
Cracking that balance is one own skill. ठीक है, वो आपका अपनी अपना स्किल है. आप in the end you have to kind of अपने आप को थोड़े टाइम के लिए डिसोसिएट करना पड़ता है उन चीजों से, just to and that's there. I think family play a very crucial role. ठीक है. तो I have a small kid. ठीक है, बच्ची है.
Uh,
I like playing with her. I like
absolutely. Yeah.
so it's like again आप ये कितना ये बैलेंस का कोई एक डेफिनेशन नहीं है. It can be like
Okay.
even let's say can't be said कि let's say आप out of 24 hours let's say I'm discarding 7 to 8 hours for sleep.
Yeah.
ठीक है. तो जो बाकी 16-17 घंटे बचते हैं तो उसमें 2 घंटा देना सफिशिएंट है कि 6 घंटे देना सफिशिएंट
right.
other thing.
Right. But generally, what do you feel? Is it like कि आप what is your general, अगर मतलब एक average day में ले लूँ आपका, what is your workload? Like, do you feel जो normally सिर्फ आपके लिए रहता है? Not talking about others.
Because I think there had been some times when I have like it has been like 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. 12 midnight. It has been like that also, or let's say late night also. Sometimes it has been like okay 10 to
it keeps varying. Okay, I get the yeah, absolutely. It's not like it's fixed, but जैसा भी काम पड़ता है, जिस भी जैसे आप बोल रहे हैं जिस भी फील्ड में है उसके ऊपर डिपेंड करता है. Do you do it accordingly? Right. बिल्कुल. Sir, I think you gone on mute, I guess. Can you say something? Yeah. No, now it's fine. Yeah. आवाज नहीं आ रही थी आपकी इसलिए. And okay, all right. So, sir, apart from this, okay, just jumping back to the aspirants wala part, there's this interview round, and like rather people who have cracked IAS, they say it's more of a personality test rather than an interview round. What do you feel that is like, you know, the most important aspect, and especially जब आप बैठे थे interview round में, what were the questions aimed at? Like, do they want to know your thought process? Do they want to know whether you can actually crack solutions? Like, what is it that they're aiming at, so that, you know, the aspirants can benefit from this conversation?
I will like to मतलब इस क्वेश्चन का आंसर मैं दो पार्ट में दे रहा हूँ. ठीक है. फर्स्ट थिंग व्हाट आई डिड, सेकंड थिंग व्हाट कैन हैपन. ठीक है. What I did actually was I was जो भी आप जब भी आप I think whenever you fill application form भरते हैं आप IAS के लिए, PPSC के लिए भरते हैं, आपसे बहुत सारी डिटेल्स मांगी जाती हैं. They ask for number of details from you. ठीक है. Starting from your whole education and then आपकी hobbies and all those things, and then what do you believe had been your achievements and all those things. ठीक है. So mostly जो what I worked upon was my own biodata. ठीक है. तो मैं अपने biodata में mostly work किया था. I was like कि I shall not be missing anything if something is asked from my biodata.
Okay.
ठीक है. अगर let's say in my previous job, if I have filed few patents, तो उनके बारे में अगर कोई मेरे को IP राइट्स के बारे में क्वेश्चंस कर रहा है, या फिर IP राइट्स के बारे में जो कोई कॉन्टेम्पररी इश्यूज हैं उनके बारे में क्वेश्चन कर रहा है, then I shall be aware of it.
Yeah.
Uh, just to give an example here, ठीक है? So that was my whole approach to prepare for this interview thing. But what actually happened, let's come to that part, right? So now whether you will be asked some, मतलब my whole thing was कि हाँ मैं safety first, मेरे को इतना तो जो मेरा बायोडा में लिखा है मेरे को उसके बारे में आना चाहिए,
बिल्कुल,
ठीक है? I
yeah.
felt totally confident about that thing. Beyond that, if something comes around which I don't know, which I have no clue of, that's another point. But I shall not be feeling with something जो कि मैंने खुद लिखा है, ठीक है? ठीक है?
Yes, yes, absolutely. Right.
Second part is that now you don't know what to expect. Okay, obviously, you can't be expecting that the whole interview will be happening on your biodata. There must be some questions coming, I think, which will be kind of trying to test whether you are fidgeting or trying to avoid something or trying to answer that thing or not. Okay. I had only one strategy in that respect. Whatever I felt like I don't know, or I have no idea, I have no clue about, I have decided beforehand that I will go with an answer I don't know.
Okay.
I will not try to make out some answer there of 2 or 3 confused sentences.
Rather, I'll just say I don't know about this. Yeah.
Okay. So I wanted to keep that thing simple. Luckily, I think not so many questions were asked on that.
Or maybe you just knew too much to be for that.
Again,
yeah.
Luckily that didn't.
No, okay. I always see you terming this as luck and all of that. You always running away from the.
Right. I'm talking about. But I'm just saying what are you prepared for?
Yes, absolutely. No, that's absolutely. Yes, sir. Definitely. And sir, but even let's say कि अगर आपको कोई ऐसे क्वेश्चन पूछते हैं, अगर एक वेरी कॉमन क्वेश्चन मैं पूछ लूं, अगर एज जो मैं बैठा हूँ, इफ आई से कि आप बताओ कि आप पॉवर्टी कैसे सॉल्व करोगे इंडिया में, इट्स अ वेरी कॉमन. सो लाइक व्हाट आर दे देन लुकिंग एट, आइदर अगर उनको लाइक दे आर दे लुकिंग फॉर अ प्रॉपर सोल्यूशन, और आर दे लुकिंग कि हाउ डू आई अप्रोच द क्वेश्चन, कि like what am I trying to do with the question?
Part, because look, agar let's say even if you talk about there are a number of people who has been dealing with something called poverty economics. Okay. Right. Even if you go around and read on that subject, and let's say if you're master on that subject, you will go around and see that he was mostly they are talking about methodology, approaches, and all those things. This thing will work better than this.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah. That's the basic thing. So if somebody likes to believe solution के बारे में बात करना, I won't like to believe is kind of too right thing to do.
Okay.
So mostly I think it's about approaches. How do you approach that thing? Right. Okay. Because even the one who are kind of master of those subjects are talking only about approaches.
Right. Absolutely. This approach being better than the other one. Yeah. Not a short solution, because ultimately you apply and see ki what works out. हाँ?
लोगों के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं, ठीक है?
हाँ.
Talking about.
Yeah.
तो एक sweeping solution होना बड़ा मुश्किल है, ठीक है?
Okay. Yeah. No, right. Absolutely. No, I agree with that. And sir, okay. So like even in your prelims and mains and whatever transpired around, जब आप prepare कर रहे थे, कि important part preparation का रहता है कि आप consistently उतना focused रहो. This is like, because which is problematic for a lot of students, like initially, and they're like, yeah, I'll do UPSC, I want to give everything and all of that. But how do you do it consistently? Like, what was your routine? Did you have a routine ki yaar, this much hours of work I have to put in every day because I'm taking this exam seriously now?
See, my whole thing was like this. I think that's a basic thing I believe in. With any exam, you kind of अगर आप उसका जो notification आता है, जो भी उसका publication होता है, जैसे कि हाँ हम लोग ये topics पे will be asking you questions. So this is about general studies. तो यहाँ पे हम लोग ये broad topic points हैं. If you're talking about different options है, तो उसमें आपके broad topic points हैं, ठीक है? तो my basic approach, मैं basic तो simple जो चीज which I believe in, and then I like to say that thing. that you shall be trying to cover as much as possible those basic points. Okay. uh, let's say but it's very difficult to do. I'm just trying to say it is very difficult to do because I think it's like uh, too much of thing compressed in very small
Yeah,
duration.
absolutely. Yeah, no, that's
uh,
true.
ऐसी जो चीज मेरा मानना है जितने ज्यादा आप अपने टॉपिक्स कवर कर सकते हैं, कवर इट कॉन्फिडेंटली, it kind of improves your chance to clear this examination.
Yeah.
Talking about written part,
Oh,
right?
okay, okay. Yeah.
So जितना ज्यादा आप उसका वो सारे टॉपिक्स कवर करते हैं, कॉन्फिडेंट है उनके बारे में कि हाँ दिस पार्ट आई एम वेरी ओके विद, आई विल गेट थ्रू दिस थिंग एंड ऑल दोस थिंग्स, so more chances you are having to crack this examination.
Right.
So I was following that approach of now second part is कि हाँ आपको फिर उसके लिए कितना आपको हार्ड वर्क करना है and all those things. See, it's very difficult for anyone to like consistently हर रोज आप एक stretch में आप पढ़ो या फिर whatever duration. I am not prescribing that thing.
Yeah.
ठीक है. It's very difficult to maintain that एक ही routine एक daily करना बड़ा ही मुश्किल चीज है. You need a break. ठीक है. You need a break always. आपको हमेशा एक break चाहिए होता है. ठीक है. Only one caution here कि वो ब्रेक को आप elongate ना करें, मतलब बढ़ाए ना उसको. ठीक है कि हाँ लेट्स से कि हाँ चले एक या दो दिन ठीक है चलो फ्री जा रहा है, फ्री जा रहा है. It shall not become a week or two.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. No, इतना like don't बह नहीं जाना है break में. That is, yeah, right, 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 absolutely. No, that's one of the key aspects also, and that is the balance part also, sir. We were talking about like work और आप अपने like life को भी ऐसे ही balance कर सकते. You always need a break. It can't be a monotonous stretch of things. No, that's true. And sir, with respect to being an IAS officer, you know, when you go in every day, you're dealing with people of different kinds. I'm talking about the administrative part only, like seniors hote hain, juniors hote hain, and all of that. Like, how do you accommodate yourself in that scenario when you're trying to, let's say, आप किसी मिनिस्ट्री के अंडर हो, वहां पर चीजें चल रही है, वहां से आपको like if there certain foundations की इसके accordingly काम करना है, and then you also have to like, how do you manage that? वो जो administrative.
I like to listen a lot. ठीक है. I like to listen a lot. ठीक है. ठीक है. I'm a good listener kind of. ठीक है. I
Okay, okay, be a good listener. Yeah, and
the second part देखिए किसी भी नौकरी, किसी भी जॉब या किसी भी I think whatever enterprise you are doing, ठीक है, right? Even let's say you are framing some questions, you are asking me some questions here, ठीक है. The basic thing is that कि आप कितना उसको common sensical रख पा रहे हो, right? ठीक है. अगर ऐसे लैंग्वेज में बात करना चालू करूं जो आपको समझ में आया ना, मेरे समझ में आ रही, लेकिन आपको समझ में ना आया, then you
right.
won't make sense to you and you will be kind of distracted.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Or if you're asking something me in some language, let's say in Greek, French, whatever, then I won't be like, ठीक है, अब मोस्टली चीजों को सिंपल एंड कॉमन सेंसिकल रखने में ज्यादा एडवांटेज है. तो लिसन एज मच एज पॉसिबल, ठीक है, एंड ट्राई टू हैव अ गुड कॉमन सेंस. It's a difficult, it's a very easy thing to say, but trying to have a good common sense.
No,
Have a
even
good common sense.
no, even in the Mayank Gandhi thing, he said the same thing. It's like there is no much more funda in other than this. Just try to have common sense. I think a lot of people are not actually using their common sense much. Yeah, so that's true. No, okay, but and I understand that aspect as well. But sir, ऐसा कभी होता है because you know obviously there are times wherein not everything works out according to the plan. Like चीजें ऊपर नीचे हो सकती है, आप किसी भी पॉलिसी पर काम कर रहे हो.
Prepared for that. You shall be all prepared for. I think that's the again second part which I like. That's the dynamic part of this job.
Yeah.
Uh, just to compare with my earlier experiences where I had earlier worked, right? Let's say, so there can be, let's say, success or failure on maybe 3 monthly basis or 6 monthly. So you're working on a project, ठीक है. उसका एक timeline है, 6 महीने में इसको ये deliver करना है आपको, whatever, ठीक है. Now there can be success and failure on 3 monthly or 6 monthly or whatever basis, right? Okay. The good thing about this job is that you can have that thing on weekly basis.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Yeah.
You learn to deal with that thing, and then you kind of बहुत जल्दी आप you mature with those things.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
It's like living a life of not to be exactly saying that thing, but living a life as a sportsman. Every day you
Yeah.
यू आर नॉट श्योर कि आप सेंचुरी मारोगे कि डक आउट हो.
Right. Every day is a new inning altogether. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Absolutely. No, and sir, do you, okay, so in all of this that goes on and transpires, okay, there are obviously a lot of perks also that come in with becoming an IAS officer. Sir, and of, आप जो पहले कर रहे थे, were you like, did you feel the same amount of, वो kick मिल रही थी आपको उस job में भी? And like, how is it very different in those terms?
First thing, I have aged since then. I think I was
Yes. Yes. That's true. And
now I'm 7 now.
okay, yes.
लेकिन हाँ, अगर वो आप बात करो, देखिए बेसिक जो चीजें आपकी रहती हैं वो काफी सेम रहती हैं. आई डोंट बिलीव कि वो एक्सपेक्ट में बहुत चेंज हुआ है. आफ्टर पासिंग आउट फ्रॉम इंजीनियरिंग, आई वोंट से दैट कि हाँ मतलब आई वाज अ ब्रिलियंट स्टूडेंट एट आईआईटी. ठीक है, आई वाज लाइक अ नॉर्मल एवरेज स्टूडेंट एट आईआईटी. ठीक है, तो आई पास्ड आउट एंड देन उसके बाद फिर खैर जो मेरा सब्जेक्ट है उसी फील्ड में मैं जॉब भी कर रहा था. तो वहां पे भी आई लाइक दैट थिंग कि हाँ, इफ यू आर काइंड ऑफ आप चीजों को सुन पा रहे हैं, यू कैन थिंक, लिसन टू थिंग्स एंड देन हैव अ thorough, and then you can look through things, common sense आप apply कर पा रहे हो, then you can solve the problem, right? uh, it's like saying, let's say you know mathematics, right? Like
Yeah.
mathematics आपको आता है. Being an engineer, I can say I know mathematics. That's another point.
Yeah. Yeah.
How do you apply that thing in a day to day thing? ठीक है, वो जो aptitude जो develop करते हो आप उस subject को पढ़ने से,
Right.
how do you apply that? ठीक है, so let's say math says कि ठीक है, this is possible, this is not possible. ठीक है, ये चीज संभव है, ये चीज असंभव है. ठीक है, how do you apply that? How do you apply that in arguments? How do you apply it in your thinking? I mean, that's one thing about learning math. One thing is called mathematical thinking. ठीक है, तो आप जब अगर आपके पास वो एक थिंकिंग है, यू कैन सी कि हाँ भाई ये चीज जो है, दिस इज नॉट लॉजिकली फिजिबल. ठीक है, so why shall I go after this thing? There is no point in going after something which is not logically feasible.
Right.
अगर आपका वो thing that has remained true for all the years.
Okay, that's one constant that has stayed with you. Critical
Constant
thinking, logical analysis. Yeah.
The normal अभी भी continue कर रही है, and I feel good about that thing. I haven't lost touch in that respect. ठीक है. हाँ, बट हाँ, जैसा मैंने पहले एक्सप्लेन किया कि हाँ, लेट्स से इन माय लास्ट असाइनमेंट मे बी आई वाज सपोज्ड टू डिलीवर अपॉन समथिंग इन, लेट्स से 6 months, 7 months, 4 months, whatever timeline, sometime in 2 months or 1 month also. लेकिन ठीक है, उसका एक बहुत ही स्प्रेड आपका टाइम फ्रेम है,
राइट.
जो कि यहाँ पे नहीं है. यहाँ पे नहीं है.
Right.
So as we were talking about COVID, let's say suddenly you may be coming to know कि भाई यहाँ पे आपको अचानक से इतने सारे लोग बाहर से आ रहे हैं.
अच्छा, okay, yeah.
24 hours to deal with that thing.
yeah, and how do you then do that?
तो फिर आपको उसमें आपको आई थिंक ऑब्वियसली आपके डिस्पोजल बहुत सारा आपके रिसोर्सेज एंड ऑल दोस थिंग्स हैं, बट आपके पास 24 घंटे ही उनको पूरा डिप्लॉय करके आपको मूव करने के लिए.
And you have to do it, like, obviously. Yeah. Right. There's no coming back from it. It means you have to do it. Yeah. No, absolutely, sir.
That is part of the whole thing.
Also, I don't know why you played so humble. You're saying I was an average student. Said a lot of people don't get into IIT, so that in itself is not average in itself. Yeah.
I'm not interested in hearing. That's what
yeah. That's true. No, that's true. Obviously, you made the shift, and it has helped you. But that is true, right? Whatever you learned in engineering in terms of skills, your aptitude, it is some way helped you in becoming what you have become today. Absolutely, and that is like how it stays on with life. Like nothing really goes into waste. जैसे बोलते हैं ना, knowledge never goes waste and stuff. Yeah, and I agree with that part as well. But sir, all of this that goes around in terms of, you know, administrative efficiency, ये जो आप जैसे बोल रहे हो कि 24 घंटे में अगर कोई प्रॉब्लम आ गया, let's say there is a problem X that is coming and you have to work in a short time, and then you're recruiting people, जो भी आपके पास resources है, how do you then, you know, how does the mind of someone work in that aspect कि यार ये चीजें मुझे इसको ऐसे ऐसे फंडामेंटली ब्रेक डाउन कर देना है, and then I have to just try and then solve it like this. Like, how do you make that instant decision? Is it
अगर ऐसा
impulse driven?
इमरजेंसी होती है, your mind work faster.
Yeah, okay. Right.
So let's say just like saying like that, कि अगर आपको let's say you haven't studied for let's say 3 months और एक कल का
अच्छा.
पेपर है, 2 दिन पहले
Right.
आपको जब मेरे को चालू करना है, देन आपको पूरा एकदम आपको पता है कि मेरे को क्या करना है and all those things.
Yeah.
So I'm not just saying one shall be doing that thing, but then
No, it's okay. Yes, absolutely.
once you realize कि आप किसी इमरजेंसी या क्राइसिस में हैं,
Yeah.
ठीक है, तो आपका रिस्पॉन्स टाइम, आपका जो थिंकिंग प्रोसेस है, ऑब्वियसली उसके हिसाब से अडेप्ट करता है.
Okay.
तो it's like that.
Okay, sir, but ये जो thinking process आप बोल रहे हैं and like this logical thinking and all of that, like do you felt being in touch with this skill set throughout? मतलब चाहे आपकी जैसी भी career हो starting से, you feel and you're happy about that also, like you said. But
बेसिक मैं जो वही बोला, मतलब आई वाज वेरी, मतलब आई लाइक टू स्टडी मैथ्स एंड ऑल दोस थिंग्स, क्योंकि मेरा अभी इंटरेस्ट है. आई थिंक आई स्टिल हैव दैट पैशन एंड ऑल दोस थिंग्स. ठीक है. coming from places that we are coming from, most of the time we don't have idea about, at least I think I'm talking about the things let's say 20 years back.
Yeah.
Right. 1 2. ठीक है. तो बहुत सारी चीजों का आपको एक्सपोजर नहीं हुआ करता था. आई थिंक याहू एंड जीमेल वर स्टिल टू कम.
yes.
And then you didn't know Google. ठीक है. आप सबको जाके याहू, I remember clearly that कि हम लोगों ने याहू सर्च was used to be a thing I think long back, right?
Yeah.
तो thing is that आपको कुछ चीजें अच्छी लग रही हैं. You like to I like to read, I like to do maths, I like to read about history. ठीक है. That and then I like to read about let's say I think I'm very keen about physics, and I have read I think things about some here and things there about पॉलिटिकल साइंस एंड साथ. ये मेरे बेसिकली बहुत ही जो मेरे सब्जेक्ट ना भी हो तो मैं उनके बारे में पढ़ता था.
अच्छा. ओके. या.
आई हैड नो क्लू कि मेरे को इनको लेकर करना क्या है.
Okay. Yes, but you liked reading about it. Yeah.
Like reading, I doing sums and doing maths. In fact, I like to say doing sums तो अलग बात होगी. ठीक है. मैथ्स और फिजिक्स में जो भी है थ्योरीज हैं व्हाटएवर, ठीक है, एंड देन हिस्ट्री एंड ऑल दोस थिंग्स, तो मेरे को अच्छा लगा पढ़ना. नो मेरे को इसके बारे में ये जो 3 4 चीजें मेरे को अच्छी लग रही हैं इनहेरेंटली, एंड इसके लिए मेरे को बाहर से कोई इंसेंटिव नहीं चाहिए. ठीक है. वी हैड नो क्लू कि व्हाट टू डू अबाउट दीस थिंग्स.
राइट.
मैं करूंगा
पढ़ तो लिया है.
हाँ, पढ़ तो लिया, मैं करूंगा क्या.
या.
ऐसा नहीं कि मैं करिकुलम के पार्ट के हिसाब से पढ़ रहा हूँ. रीडिंग जस्ट बिकॉज़ आई लाइक टू रीड. इंटरेस्ट है मेरा. ठीक है. आई लाइक टू थिंक इन दोस लाइन्स. ठीक है. सो सी आप सो व्हाट आई वाज ट्राइंग टू से, कि आप वो जो चीज आपके इनहेरेंटली थी वो चीज. ठीक है. Unless you get bored of those things, and it's very difficult to get bored of those things if you're literally interested. ठीक है. तो let's say if you like watching cricket, लेकिन आप 200 मैच देखने के बाद 201वां मैच भी देखोगे.
Yeah.
ठीक है. Same thing happening there. ठीक है. Even if you like to tennis, अगर आप टेनिस आपको देखना अच्छा लगता है, then after 50-60 मैच के बाद भी 100वां मैच आप देखोगे.
Right. And same way you liked whatever you're doing. And
जो मेन पॉइंट ये है कि आपको जो ये जो कोर चीजें हैं, ठीक है, दे बिल्ड अपॉन समथिंग इनसाइड यू. ठीक है. आपके अंदर कुछ चीजें आपको बिल्ड करती हैं, सम स्किल सेट आपके अंदर बिल्ड करती हैं, सम एप्टीट्यूड बिल्ड करती हैं. ठीक है. अब आपका एक पर्सपेक्टिव आपका बिल्ड करती है,
डेवलप होता है. राइट.
काइंड इंस्पायर सम काइंड ऑफ पर्सपेक्टिव इन यू. ठीक है. And unless something very catastrophic happens, वो चीजें change नहीं होने वाली है.
बिल्कुल. Yeah. No, that's true.
तो then आप whether you are outgoing or not outgoing, you still make friends. ठीक है. ठीक है. आपको दोस्त बनाते हो, then आपको उनके साथ how do you want to maintain things with them? think that's one other part of thing. So there are some basic चीजें जो कि आपकी हमेशा constant रहती हैं. ठीक है.
Right.
ठीक है.
Right.
तो आप जब भी कहीं पे जाते हो, whatever you are doing, you are trying to do an engineering degree, or you are trying to do a job after that thing, or trying to crack a exam after that thing, or again trying to do something which you are doing now. ठीक है. आपको वो चीजें हमेशा is like your strength which you always bank upon.
Okay.
Right?
Yes, absolutely.
तो but then second part obviously होता है कि that's not the only part you shall be talking about. ठीक है. कि आपका then you shall be also aware of your weaknesses. ठीक है. आपको क्या चीज नहीं पता है. ठीक है.
Yeah. No,
so
absolutely. Be entirely aware about yourself, not only your strength and also your weaknesses. And like one thing that I've noticed is कि आपको मजा आता है whatever you're doing and whatever you're saying, like you love that. The passion shows, and that is why you're here. I think that's
go to that. Yeah,
yeah, absolutely sir. And sir, ये जो सारी बातें हैं, जो भी आप चीजों से डेली डील कर रहे हो, एंड जो भी है इन जनरल, लाइक अगर आपको अगर एक किसी भी एस्पायरेंट को एक फाइनल मैसेज देना हो, बिकॉज वील आल्सो कंक्लूड दिस वीडियो इन अ व्हाइल, सो लाइक अगर आपको एक मैसेज देना हो कि यार दिस इज समथिंग दैट आई looked upon and this is something that I felt was very important.
आपका अपना एक मैकेनिज्म होता है to deal with different kind of things जो भी आपके जीवन में, वही थिंग आपको हेल्प करेंगी. दैट्स यू व्हाटएवर योर स्ट्रेंथ आर डूइंग, देन यू शुड बी ट्राइंग टू डिपेंड अपॉन देम. ठीक है. एंड यू शुड बी अवेयर ऑफ इट कि हां यहाँ पे मैं फेल कर सकता हूं.
राइट. ओके.
इसको मिला के हम लोग कॉमन सेंस बोलते हैं एक्चुअली. ठीक है.
यस. Yeah, so message is common sense. Okay, this is what I derive from. I think this has been the crux of our interview as well, and the fact that this has come into light so many times. And sir, especially just I think a few more questions. So like this part, you talk about your weaknesses and strengths both. Sir, एक ऐसी चीज जो आपको लगता है कि being an IAS officer, like there are always कोई भी profession के साथ good and bad दोनों चीजें होती हैं. One thing that you feel that you know इस प्रोफेशन में ये डिफिकल्टी मुझे कॉन्स्टेंटली फेस करनी पड़ती है, या ये चीज प्रॉब्ली अगर मैं इसको बेटर कर सकूं, या ये चीज इस सिस्टम में बेटर होती तो अच्छा होता. लाइक वन नेगेटिव ऑफ द
वाली बात. ठीक है. हमें एक बात को समझना पड़ेगा कि हम लोग यहाँ पे मशीन के साथ में डील नहीं कर रहे हैं, वी आर डीलिंग विद
ह्यूमंस. या
ठीक है. सो ऐसे मशीन क्या होता है कि प्रेडिक्टेबिलिटी होती है कि ठीक है आप उसको x दोगे तो y आएगा.
राइट.
सपोज टू दैट, बट स्टिल उसके भी अपने एक उसका एक टाइम होता है, उसके बाद वो खत्म हो जाता है, एक्सपायर्ड होता है, खत्म हो जाता है वो. ठीक है. व्हेन यू आर वर्किंग, तो यहाँ पे आपको इस बात के प्रिपेयर होना चाहिए कि देयर आर वेज इन व्हिच थिंग्स कैन गो रॉन्ग डिस्पाइट योर एफर्ट्स.
राइट.
ये चीज के लिए आपको प्रिपेयर रहना चाहिए. ठीक है. एंड आई डोंट, मेरे को अगेन इज आई एम नॉट सेइंग दैट इन नेगेटिव वे, but then you shall be prepared for that. So you prepared, it can go wrong because again you are dealing with set of people who are working for you.
Yes.
So मतलब I think just to quote one thing, there had been a political thinker long back, I think 50-60 years back, so called Foucault. So he had theory of power जिसमें वो बोलते थे कि अगर आपका एक भी कड़ी अगर वीक है तो that defines कि आप कितना तेज और कितना स्लो भागोगे.
Right. Yes, absolutely.
So you never know कि हाँ मतलब whether how can those things happen.
Right.
You never know how can those things happen.
So you don't put it as a negative though, but you feel that unpredictability.
Personally नहीं लेना पड़ेगा आपको. That's the most important.
Okay. Yes. Obviously, there is a lot of reading between the lines here. There are certain reservations that obviously I feel that are there while you're answering. But yes, absolutely, I understand that. And yes, sir, I think that is the all like mostly whatever I had in my mind, and I hope the people who watch from it also benefit from all of this. And if you have any closing comments, we'll go for that, and otherwise we'll close the show.
With everyone that this, I would like to say that कि आप ठीक है देखिए मतलब it's like again I'm reiterating few points which I've already told. This is one of the professions. ठीक है, I think that's we should be taking this thing like that. आप ऑब्वियसली हर प्रोफेशन का अपना एक आपका पॉजिटिव और नेगेटिव होता है, ठीक है. यू शैल बी व्हेन यू आर ट्राइंग टू गो फॉर दैट थिंग यू आर प्रिपेयर्ड फॉर दैट थिंग कि हाँ भाई मैं अगर जा रहा हूँ किसी पॉजिटिव तो वहाँ पे नेगेटिव चीजें भी होंगी, ठीक है. इट्स नॉट लाइक ऑल योर वे टू ग्लोरी, ठीक है, और नहीं देयर ऑल वे टू हेल्प.
Yeah, absolutely. Somewhere in between this, right. Yes, absolutely. That's a great note to actually end this conversation on. And thank you so much for joining us today, sir. I hope people who watch actually, Yeah, no, you got cut off for us. You're saying something?
I hope I think I had been useful and
No, yeah. You have been immensely helpful, sir. Thank you so much for joining us today. And that is it from my side. Yes, that is it from my side. We'll be stopping the recording now in 3, 2, 1. Thank you so much.